Timeline frame rate conversion. After you import your footage, you might want to convert all of your clips frame rate to the frame rate of your timeline. A lot of times when we're out recording, we end up changing our frame rate for many reasons. Could be to get slow motion like 120 frames per second, or you just need more or less light and you've exhausted all of your other options. Whatever the case may be, this is very simple. Go to your project folder where all of your footage is located, and you'll see these icons down here, and these will change the way you view your project folder. In this mode, will display information about each clip. And as you can see here, you can see what frame rate every clip was recorded at. So a really quick pointer, whatever clip you drag onto your timeline first, the timeline will assume the settings of that clip. So if you wanted to edit a 1080p vertical video for TikTok or a 4K horizontal video for YouTube, I recommend keeping a sample clip where you can find it so you don't have to enter in the sequence settings yourself every time you open a new project. I'll show you what I mean really quick. We're gonna go to File, New, Sequence, press OK, and I have a clip to set the settings I need for my TikTok videos on my desktop. This clip all the way down here, I'm going to import it, and once I drag this onto the timeline, this message will come up. Make sure this is checked and never uncheck this, and then change sequence settings. Now this entire sequence is set to edit in a vertical video, and vice versa. If I were to go on my hard drive and load in this one, this is a 4K video, it'll ask again, change sequence settings again, and now we're editing on a 4K timeline. The only time you need to convert your footage to another frame rate is when it doesn't match the frame rate of the timeline. And usually, if everything works out, I like to record everything in 30 frames a second, more specifically 29.97. But you can see here, all of my clips are 29.97 frames per second. So I don't need to change anything here. But say you recorded some stuff in slow-mo, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, and you want to enter that into your 30 frames per second timeline. This is the proper way to do it. My clips here are all 60 frames per second. You're gonna highlight those clips, right click, you're gonna go to Modify, Interpret Footage. This dialog box will pop up. Go to the top under frame rate, and you're gonna click Assume this frame rate, and you're gonna type in the frame rate of your timeline. So we know it's 29.97 FPS. That is the frame rate of my timeline, and we're gonna press OK. Now that just converted all of these to 29.97. So as you can see, we play it, it's gonna play in real time instead of slow-mo. If you want it to be slow-mo, we can just slow it back down. So do you guys remember the speed and duration shortcut, Command or Alt R? We're gonna lower the speed of this so we can bring it back to 60 frames per second in a 30 frames per second timeline. How do we know what to slow it down to though? I'll show you. So open up your calculator and you're gonna go the frame rate of your timeline, which mine is 30 frames per second, divided by the frame rate of the clip, 60 frames per second, and you get 0.5. So we're gonna slow this clip down to 50%. Say you have a 24 frames per second timeline and you have 120 frames per second clip you want to add in. 24 divided by 120, you get 0.2. You would slow it down to 20%. I know this can kind of be confusing, but if it doesn't make sense to you guys, just let me know and I will try to explain it a little bit better. But the reason why we do this is it just makes editing a lot more smoother. If you have all these different frame rates clashing together in one timeline, you could experience some lagging and performance issues. If you have footage you want to add that's outside of that frame rate, go ahead and convert it first and then slow it back down when you get it into the timeline. You know what? I'll add a page to the workbook so you guys can reference this whenever you feel like it. Next lesson, we're going to be sifting and cutting through some footage. Let's get it.